Electronic stability control light, the $15 fix that 9 out of 10 shops won't tell you about. You just bought a used car, you checked the Carfax, you took it for a test drive. Everything looked perfect. But on the drive home from the dealership, a yellow light appears on the dashboard. A car with squiggly lines underneath it. The ESC light. You call the seller and he says the same thing they always say. Oh yeah, that's been on for a while. It's nothing. Just a sensor. But is it nothing? Or is it a sign that your car's most critical safety system has been offline this entire time, and you just did not know it? That moment right there is where most people make a costly decision. They assume it is nothing. They drive around with the light on for months, and then one day they need that system on a wet road, in an emergency swerve, and it does not respond because it has been disabled the whole time. Or they take it to a shop and get quoted $800 for a control module that was never broken in the first place. If you want to avoid mistakes like this and actually understand what your car is telling you, make sure you are subscribed right now. Because on this channel, we don't guess, we diagnose. Now, here is where confusion starts. The ESC light can mean a dozen different things. A bad sensor, a bad connection, a low battery, a misaligned steering wheel, or in rare cases, an actual failed module. The light itself tells you nothing except that the system has been disabled. It is the code stored in the computer that tells the real story. And without that code, you are flying blind. Let's start with the foundation. Your electronic stability control system is a network of sensors that work together to keep your car pointed where you want it to go. Wheel speed sensors at all four corners tell the computer how fast each wheel is turning. A steering angle sensor tells it where the steering wheel is positioned. A yaw rate sensor tells it if the car is starting to rotate. The computer takes all this information and compares it to what you are asking the car to do. If the car starts to slide, the system can apply individual brakes and reduce engine power to bring it back in line. The ESC system will disable itself if any single sensor reading does not make sense. Not if the sensor is broken, if the reading is simply outside the expected range. That means a sensor that is slightly dirty, slightly corroded, can trigger the same response as a completely failed component. Pause and think about this. A layer of brake dust on a wheel speed sensor can produce the exact same dashboard light as a $600 control module failure. But one costs you a can of brake cleaner. The other costs you a week of pay. This is where diagnosis becomes critical, because most shops skip the simple checks and go straight to the expensive ones. They plug in a scanner, see a chassis code, and start quoting modules and sensors without ever looking at the actual components. Now let's talk about what actually causes the ESC light, because this is where the real story is. The most common cause is something so simple that most people never consider it. Brake dust buildup on the wheel speed sensors. These sensors use a magnetic field to read a toothed ring called the tone ring. When brake dust, which is metallic, accumulates on the sensor tip, it can interfere with that magnetic field. The sensor starts sending weak or erratic signals. The computer sees data that does not make sense and disables the system. A $7 can of brake cleaner and 5 minutes per wheel can fix this. But most shops will not do it because they cannot charge you $150 for a cleaning. They will quote you a sensor replacement instead. The second most common cause is even simpler: low battery voltage. These modern cars are sensitive. The ESC system runs a self-check every time you start the vehicle. If the battery voltage is below about 12.4 volts, the system may fail that self-check and trigger the light. A dying battery can look exactly like a failed sensor, and replacing a sensor will not fix a bad battery. The third cause is the steering angle sensor calibration. This sensor tells the computer where the steering wheel is centered. If you have had an alignment, replaced a tie rod, or even just hit a large pothole, that calibration can drift. The computer thinks the wheel is turned when it is straight. That mismatch triggers the light. And the fix is a simple recalibration procedure that takes 30 seconds. Quick question, have you ever paid for a diagnostic only to be told you need a module, and then the problem turned out to be something else entirely? Drop a comment below and let me know, because this is one of the most profitable misdiagnoses in the industry. Now let's move into real diagnostic thinking, because this is where you separate guesswork from actual expertise. The first step is reading the code. This is non-negotiable. You need a scanner that can read chassis codes, the C codes. A basic OBD2 scanner may not pick them up. Most parts stores will scan for free, and their tools are usually capable. Write down every code you see. C0035 through C0050 point to wheel speed sensors. A code for the steering angle sensor tells you where to look next. If there are no codes stored, suspect a power or ground issue. The second step is checking the battery. Measure the voltage at the terminals with the engine off. If it is below 12.4 volts, charge the battery or replace it. Clear the codes and see if the light returns. You would be surprised how often this alone solves the problem. The third step is visual inspection. Pull each wheel and look at the wheel speed sensors. Are they caked with brake dust? Clean them with brake cleaner and a soft rag. Are the wires intact? Follow the harness and look for cuts, rubs, or rodent damage. Are the connectors corroded? Clean them with electrical contact cleaner. The fourth step is the steering angle sensor recalibration. Start the engine. Turn the wheel fully left and hold for 2 seconds. Turn it fully right and hold for 2 seconds. Return to center. Turn the car off and restart. On many vehicles, this is all it takes. This is the pattern you need to understand. Symptoms alone are not enough. You need confirmation. Because without confirmation, you are just guessing, and guessing leads to expensive mistakes. Now let's talk about cost, because this is where the impact becomes real. A can of brake cleaner costs $7. A battery load test is free at most parts stores. A steering angle sensor recalibration costs nothing. A wheel speed sensor costs $30 to $80. A brake light switch costs $15 to $25. But an ESC control module, that can run $500 to $1,200 plus labor. Now pause and ask yourself, what happens if you skip the $7 cleaning and go straight to the $1,200 module replacement? You are out $1,200 and the light is still on. And now you are frustrated, the shop is confused, and the real problem, a dirty sensor, has not been addressed. This is why the ESC light is one of the most profitable misdiagnoses in the automotive industry. Because the symptoms of a $7 problem and a $200 problem can look identical, and most shops will quote the expensive fix first. But here's the final warning. Do not ignore the ESC light because you assume it is nothing. Yes, the car will still drive. Yes, the brakes will still work. But the one time you need the stability control system, when a car pulls out in front of you, when you have to swerve suddenly, it will not be there. That system exists for a reason, and driving without it is a gamble you do not need to take. If this helped you understand what the ESC light actually means and what to check first, hit that like button and share this with someone who might be one bad diagnosis away from an expensive mistake. In the next video, we are breaking down the shaking under acceleration that has already cost most drivers hundreds of dollars in unnecessary parts. And the one component almost nobody checks first, because just like this, it is another diagnosis where guessing leads to the wrong repair.